Hello. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to episode 13. Luckiest episode of them all. Of Party Wipe. A roguelike deck builder where you draft an RPG party. Hey, Lost Sleep Games. How's it going? Happy Wednesday. All right. Let's just get into it. We're still working on equipment cards, which are the cards that have all of your stuff, all the stuff for the unit, the armor, the weapons, the spells. I've made an equip card. Here's a demo of it. This is like literally all I did last night. Was agonize over the dimensions, content, and positioning of the equip card. Hey, Nix, thanks for the hydrate. Looks sick. Thank you. Yeah. I needed a solution. I see the text is unbalanced. I'll fix that. I needed a solution that would fit most cases and could accommodate two different sets of effects. So we have like active and passive effects. The passive effect here is grayed out because the Rusty Spear has no passive effect. These are going to be like triggerable buttons or whatever, so it'll be very clear which one of these you're reading. We're going to need to use some kind of keyword system.
I don't know what y'all think, but I think that's pretty.
So I have to figure out, you know, that's probably going to mean even more tooltips that branch off of this, but I realize that this is not quite a tooltip. This needed to be something a little more substantial. And yeah, I tried a bunch of different things. This should just sit right under the character sheet. Shenanigans, card looks sick, thank you. Yeah, it sits under the character sheet. It sits over the draw and discard piles, which I think is fine. I prefer that to blocking the battle map. So if we play this and we open this, so this is kind of how it would appear. It would appear when we do something like bring the Rusty Spear over to play here. Well, maybe it would do it the second time. So like I play the Rusty Spear and then I could either click on it and it would bring this up, or I would play another Rusty Spear and it would do the same thing it does when I bring another card up. It does a level up, a slight outline and a level up little graphic if they level up, or just XP gain if it's just XP, because items gain XP and levels the same way as character cards do. Slept an extra 2 hours this morning. Good. That's good to hear. Nix. How's it going, Nanigans? How's texture painting? So yeah, now we need to hook this all up so that it all like collapses and stuff the same way we hooked up the character sheet. We need to be able to switch between these two. I might make another item that has two effects next. Like we're probably going to do the shield next, because the shield does have a passive and an active effect. Like a shield is going to have the passive effect of like increasing your defense, but it's going to have an active effect of like a shield bash, which will be like a move thing. Like it'll push someone back a block. And the intent with that is going to be to like set up like opportunity attack triggers and stuff. Assuming I do that. I might not do that. I really want opportunity attacks. But that might not work with our perfect information, careful turn-based combat thing. Maybe it will. Maybe it'd be cool. Hey, Nix with the 45 stream streak. That's great. You're doing good. Do you think you got your texture painting stuff in a good spot? You posted a video on the project thread. Ooh, I'll take a look at that later. Yeah. I'm leaving the XP in its current form, which is like way too generous. Like it's like I just upgraded the night card. I just played a level 1 night card and got it to level 3 with just 3 additional cards. But it's helping me compare things like the coloration and stuff. So I'm gonna leave it for now, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with the amount of space that we have. It's kind of just right. It's pretty close to being just right. It's going to be limiting in some respects. We're going to lean a lot on keywords like reach. So like I think a spear should be able to attack 2 spaces away because it's a spear. And like damage type, it matters and stuff. And the way I imagine weapons working is that they add to the character's base attack stat. So like an attack with a rusty spear would do 3 damage according to the way I've written it here. But it would take the 1 attack from the knight and add 2. And it would make the damage piercing. That's like the part I haven't figured out yet. Is it should this just say like 2 piercing? Or should it be like all the attack that you deal with this is converted to piercing? And I haven't decided about that yet. Because I can imagine some cases where you do something and you have like multiple different damage types you're dealing. We'll see. We will see. Let me fix this alignment issue that I did not notice last night as I was watching The Hobbit. The newer one. Which, while it is enjoyable, I'm gonna do good. Wow, is it just mostly fan service? Especially coming off of the 1977 Hobbit movie, which does the whole thing in like an hour and 10 minutes. And covers everything. They don't miss any of the like major plots. They don't talk about the necromancer, but as my understanding is, as someone who's never read The Hobbit, it's like barely a plot point in the book. Lord, did they not need to make that a trilogy? Equip page. All right, there's an alignment issue here. Where is it? I feel it in my bones. 11. 9. Yeah. Okay. That's better. That said, I adore Lord of the Rings, so I'll probably still watch all the rest of them while I'm working. You know, just have something on in the background. Okay, that's acceptable, I guess. Okay, I think that's it. All right, we're gonna need to make this dynamic. First, let's start just like having it appear and disappear. That'd be a good start. What are we gonna call it? Party roster. We'll just call it what I already called it here, which is an equip page. It needs to be a rect. Texture rect here. Like the blending when you layer the colors. I assume you're talking to Nanigans. But that's cool. Yeah, it's cool. It's very cool. Texture painting is very neat. All right, where's the position for this thing? 160 by, no, 10 by 206. Okay. We're gonna need to set it up like the character sheet with like buttons and stuff. So honestly, I guess it should be like a control node or something. Instead of doing it this way. Delete that. Let's make a new scene. User interface. Call it an equipment page. I'll add the base. This will need a script. I need to do some organizing. Yeah, drawing over the texture in response to like spells and stuff is gonna look really cool. All right, so I guess we'll just set it up a lot like the way we have it here. Here's the only real question. Oh, so you know what? I actually don't know what. This is going to need to be a child of the character sheet. Because what we use, the way we use the character sheet is it holds on to like transitory stats and things. Like it holds on to like the current makeup of the actual character, not like the underlying resources that like built it. Because it might be like they might be halfway to level 2 or something like that, you know, like. And the same thing applies to the equipment pages. So you do the same thing. And then the character sheet is going to need to be responsible for managing those. I might move this further up. Oh, maybe not. It's going to need a lot of the same stuff. It's going to need gold value, silver value, a copper value. We're going to need to move this around potentially. I think not. I think I might just lock everything at no more than 9 or whatever. So like the highest value thing in the game would be 9 gold, 9 silver, 9 copper. Because that gives us 100. If 10 copper is a silver, and 10 silver is a gold, then we have a price range from 0 to 100, and that seems more than enough. Or we could end up maybe fitting double digits if we had to, but I'm just gonna set it up like this for now. LSG, you had a super productive morning. Now you're crashing. Glad it's your night off streaming. Probably just gonna zone out on level design tonight. Yeah, I like doing that. That was me last night. I was like, man, there's all this coding and stuff I gotta do. And then I was like, you know what I actually need to do is just figure out what this equip card is gonna look like. And so I did that. I iterated on it a lot. But I've come to a number of standards about what my different banner, like, not banners, but what the different sections of these things look like. And I'm okay with it. Turned out all right. Might make some small changes to it. But hoping this is generic enough. And it does a good job of getting out of the way. Why does equipment have experience? Because it's a card, Arneo. You have Rusty Spear cards. So your Rusty Spear is going to level 2. Same thing with your abilities. It's cards all the way down. How's it going? An experienced spear? Yeah. Why not? You can rationalize it however you want. You can be like, well, they're getting accustomed to the weapon, so they're getting better with it. And then some of them are just going to be higher levels. Like, the magic items, you're not going to see below level 3. Because level 3, generally, I think, you're not going to see you're not going to see a level 1 magic item that does, like, fire damage or whatever. I think it'll be funny, because then now we can do things where it's like, oh, max out the level of your Rusty Spear. Or, like, one of your Rusty starting weapons or something like that. I think it's funny. It's the Blacksmith's experience. I think we're going to do a little something different with the Blacksmith. I think the Blacksmith will be able to work on these, and they will turn them into fine versions, at least for the armor. The armor is going to get turned into a fine version of itself, because I have sprites for that. So we're probably going to meet, you're probably going to meet an armor smith at one point is probably what's going to happen. Nanigans, you might stream tonight? Ooh, nice. You question everything to clarify the vision. Proceed. Wouldn't you need a weaponsmith for a weapon? Yes. So I think we're going to have an armor smith for the armor. I do not have sprites for the weapons. But we have nice sprites for armor refinement that were included. For all of the armor. So there's like a regular version, and they called it a gilded version. Maybe not all the armor, but yeah, all the actual armor, like regular helm. So I think we'll do that. I think there will be some armor smith that you have the opportunity to go to, and they can like improve your gear or something. You can do it with some of the clothing too. So we'll see. I might just call them an armorer. The fact that you can get a fancy hat is kind of neat. But not for all of them. I mean, I guess I could do it myself. I see the pattern here, so I could guild some more of these things myself if I wanted. And honestly, I could do the weapons, but a lot of the weapons utilize the highlight colors already in a way that I don't really want to mess with. Why not just call them a smith instead of specializing them? Well, I want it to be clear that you can't use them for your weapons. And I need a nice short name, so I like armorer. But who knows? Who knows what we'll do? It's all speculation until I actually do it. All right, so we got our equipment page. It's got to be like the character sheet page. It's going to need labels and stats. I might just copy these over. And then reposition them. We need these. We just need these two, really, I guess. Oh, not there. There we go. I guess I need to export the correct versions of these. Right. So turn this off, turn that off. What the hell layer is this on? cool. That's annoying. Oh, by Glob. Is that a raid? Are we being raided right now? Tomato salad. Good to see ya. Wow, my wrist just cracked so loudly. How's it going? How was the stream? Welcome to Party Wipe. How are you doing? Welcome in, salad enthusiasts. I just put it back on the same layer again. What is wrong with me? I'm like, oh, let me get this on the right layer. Wrong layer, Dave. Never fails. That's right. Center alignment, Dave, succeeds every time, though. 100% of the time. You don't think it was a raid? I might have been mistaken. Hey, QRT42. That was a raid alert. Coder Inkling. How's everyone doing? Stream was awesome. Nearly finished the core game loop for the new project. Ooh. We are working on a new game. We're entering our 3rd week here. Working on this. It's a roguelike deck builder where you draft an RPG party. So we're working on this UI where you build out these rosters of, you know, characters from cards. And the knights and their equipment all comes from the cards. Oh, that was weird that didn't pop up when I clicked this. And yeah, then there will be a little turn-based battle map where they battle it out. But we're working on getting the equipment stuff to register because there's a lot of cards, and the cards, like, you can level up the characters by playing more copies of them. That's the idea. Looks cool. Thank you, Coder Inkling. Yeah, we're really early on it. I'm trying to sort out the whole the card interaction stuff before we move on to the turn-based battle map stuff. I'm trying to wrap that out soon. I hope this week, because all we got to do is hook up the rest of these what I call equipment cards. That'll like be your armor and your items and your spells. And so it's kind of this roguelike where you're trying to thin out your deck and level up your cards and avoid a party wipe. And if you can keep your characters alive, they'll keep leveling up. When they die, they'll lose like whatever fractional XP they have and like get discarded, and then you'll have to redeploy them and re-equip them. And should be cool. Should be cool. But yeah, brand new game, relatively. We're on week 3. Thanks for the lurk. Looks great already. Doesn't look like as if you're just 3 weeks in. It's because I obsess about UI quality. There is no turn-based battle map. Just like a garden here. I go a little too hard in some of these categories. I'm excited to see your project. Do you have any links? All right, we're setting this up. We are, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I'm exporting a correct version of this without the text or the filler. Although this filler I kind of want of the icon. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe we'll put that in there too. Then we can be very precise about positioning. So equip page, level 1. And I gotta do the other levels for this, huh? So let's grab those, I guess. Why not? Why did I open this twice? Oh yeah, I made the cards darker. I also did that. I darkened up the cards. Nobody probably noticed, but it's way more in line with what the character sheets look like. I think it's all right. All right, so if those are the colors, then now I need to put these in. Oh, I need a, do I have a mask? I do, good. Absolutely not. What are you asking me? All frames, no, selected frames. Thanks, Nix. Thanks for the vote of confidence. No, we're using a very game jammy workflow for this, where we're using a lot of assets. We are kind of just going with whatever the first solution for our problems are. We're trying not to over-engineer anything. And that's what I tell myself. Well, thanks for the raid. Let's get that shout out. / shout out. Made a salad. I always forget that part. Why not create a color palette already? If I do, it would literally be me just collecting the colors from these things into a palette, which, yeah, I could do. I don't care. I would call that, like, unnecessary work. But I might still do it. If I do it, what I would do is I would exhaustively go through all of our sprites and pull all of the colors out of the sprites and put those into a palette. But for someone criticizing me for working on the UI this much, that's an interesting suggestion. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, damn it. I overwrote the last one. That's fine. But yeah, I might do that. If we start doing a lot of sprite work, I'll do it. But I'm trying to generally avoid sprite work. The UI is an exception. I don't know if I need to re-export that, but I'm going to anyway. All right, there's all the equipment pages. These are for different items. Would make it easier to create new UI elements. Would it though? The hard part about making a new UI element is not the color. Is not setting colors. The hard part about making a new UI element is figuring out what the dimensions of it are, where it will be located, what it will consist of, the balance of the different elements within it. So yeah, I get what you're saying, but all that extra work stuff is the sort of thing we're trying to generally avoid doing in this project. Is this fill or text? It's text. Okay. But I get what you're saying. But yeah, that took like a few minutes. And it's done. And we never have to do it again. A lot of these characters, some of these characters are just being set by a mask anyway. They're not even in a palette. That was Nanigan's idea. It allows me to keep my color palette purity while still having some better contrast. All right. That should be fine. So you are going to have, I guess, an export list. And that export pages by level. Where did I even save those? That's what I really want to know. There they are. There they are. We're generally going to avoid building tools and stuff with this game. Lord knows I like doing that. But it's a problem for me. So I'm gonna generally not do that with this project. All right, here are these. Are these in generally the right place? Yep, that makes sense. All right, and so now we need some more labels. I'm just gonna copy these. Well, maybe not. Label. It's going to be the gold label. First naive, fast solutions, over engineering later. There you go, QRT. That's exactly it. Yeah, if we're treating this as like a jam game, then the first solution, the first roughest solution is what we want. And we will. If we need to, we will. Oh, this isn't a label anyway, is it? It's a rect. Yeah. I use the I'm just gonna recreate this. I use the Randy School of Game Design, which says start with the caveman solution, and then when the caveman solution is no longer sufficient, move on to the slightly less caveman solution. And just keep doing that until it's good enough to ship. I need to make the gold texture atlases. Is there items? Are there anything in items? Nope, there are no items. Let's make an items folder. The gold is arguable. Oh, did Sapphire arrive and disappear? Yep. It's funny. I don't know what Game Changer is. Is that like Taskmaster? Gold icon. Maybe I should have called those consumables, but whatever. That's what they should be in here. What are they in the sprites? The hell did I do? Collectibles, that's what I call them. Collectibles. Gold would be go. It's a dropout TV game show. So it is like... So it is like Taskmaster? That clarified nothing for me, but okay. Gold icon. Why does this think it's so gigantic? 16 by 16. Here we go. Oh, shoot. You know what? I need a version of this that has no texture mask. That's interesting. I think I have that. All right, this is going to be weird. We're going to do this super weird, and I'm going to regret this later. How are we going to do this? We're going to make a new version of the Collectibles Atlas with no fill. Instead of this, it's gonna connect to the no fill version. There we go. Hey Jacob, how's it going? Game Changer is a game show where the game changes each time and the players don't know the rules. And the people compete at the same time. Oh, okay. So it's kind of like Calvin Ball meets Taskmaster. Thanks for the stretch and the hydrate as well, Sapphire. Good. You're good, Jacob. You're dorking around with the Little Doctor Games jam. Yeah. Someone came in yesterday and was talking about that. That's fun. I would like to do a game jam, but then I have to just keep telling myself I basically am. I'm doing a game jam and I'm competing against everyone who's releasing on Steam in the next year. How do I want to do this? Say 0. We'll align it to the center. We'll align it to the center. We'll shrink it to be whatever the minimum size it needs to be. Just in case, we'll add support for double digits. Worst case scenario. Or more to the point, we'll leave a room. Is that fine? Yeah, that's fine. I don't want to like break the game if I change my mind later on that. Are these aligned, more or less? I don't think so. There we go. OSG, you've never heard of Calvin Ball? That's just sad. I'm just kidding. Go read a Calvin and Hobbes book. They're easy to get. If I had to like assign the result of my personality from like 2 childhood activities, it would be probably reading Calvin and Hobbes and watching Seinfeld. Probably explains most of what you need to know about why I am the way I am. All right, so we got these. We need the rest of this stuff. We need an icon, a name. We don't need a pile. We don't need a suit. Just need the icon and the name. Actually, we need the icon and the suit, but I'm going to rename it name. Wait, huh? Why are you all the way over there? What are you doing all the way over there? Now, where's the center here is the real question. It looks close. Also, these aren't characters. They're like equip. Yeah, I'll be interested to see your game, Nix. I'd like to see some tech devlogs for your game, Nanigans, for sure. Yeah. Calvin and Hobbes is great. Why is this bigger than that? That seems wrong. That should probably get shifted down. Or the other shifted up? No, but this looks more balanced. What's happening here? Oh, because this is favored down, so this needs to be favored. Okay, that's fine. Hey, Fusionist. How's it going? We're working on some equipment pages for our items so we can make equipable items. Mock-ups? No, we're making the scene for it. I mocked this up last night. This is a mock-up. But it's also the only equipment item card we've made so far. So. I think it's all right. I had to address the fact that each equipment item may have an active and or a passive effect, and I wanted to do it all in one card. So this is kind of what I've settled on. There will be like the 2 buttons. This will probably have a highlight around it because it's showing the active. We'll have to see if I like that in the long run, but it's consistent with what we've already got for the character sheet. You like the progress? It looks clean. Yeah, I go a little too hard on like finished UI stuff, but I needed to figure out where we were gonna put this was the problem for me. Because the battle map is already a little like got a lot around it. In the character sheet, this behavior, I guess I did change this behavior, but I didn't actually finish it. So we'll fix that. I think it'll work now, yeah. So the character sheet is collapsible. You'll have all your characters in your party roster over here. And then you can equip an item, like you can equip this spear. Which is, I guess, just going to be their signature item, since that's what's in their sprite. And then I need to be able to, like, click this or play another spear card onto the spear to, like, level it up and stuff. Or to just click this and use it and see what it does. So rather than impose on the battle map, because you'll probably be reading this and deciding if you actually want to use it in an attack, I thought I'd slot it in down here and have it cover up the card and discard piles. So there's the draw pile and then the discard pile. It's in the other spot. I don't have enough cards in the deck to show both of them, but yeah, I think this will be all right. Nothing's really hooked up, so I'm working on finishing that part. I think we're doing good in terms of the economy of the space of the screen. It's a little crowded, but these are collapsible, so like that could go away, that could go away. So you're meant to be like looking at that actively or ignoring it. We'll see if I end up regretting not having information like health just on the tab here, but we'll see. We'll have to see. How's gameplay shaping up? We're working out the mechanics of the card interactions, and then we will move on to the turn-based battle map stuff. Because it's really the interplay between those two things that's what I want to know and look at and see. So I'm just taking the simple path of doing the card stuff first, and then we'll work on the turn-based battle part. Hey, executive. Beep beep, what's up? Welcome in. How's it going? We're working on Party Wipe, a roguelike deck builder, where you draft an RPG party, and we're working on an equipment item card. I'm calling it a page, I guess. We're hooking it up. I guess I'll put in a stand in here so that we can look at it. Where are they? Equipment. Spear. Equipment name. Rusty Spear. I'm rusty. And then I need the passive. These need to be buttons. Where do I want to put them? I guess I'll put them here. So we want an active button and a passive button for the different effects. So I guess I need to make those. So we need a label on top of the button. Oh, no, it needs to be... Oh, no, yeah, it can just be in the button because that doesn't change. Doesn't change. Texture button. Active. Button. Those up here. I guess I need to make the textures for those, huh? Let's do that. Let's do that now. So it's going to be like this. So I want to leave room for the highlight. Oh, this is actually different, huh? There's no inner banner. I know what I'm going to do. So this is 78 by 20. Make 78 by 20 by 80 by 100. So I actually want a disabled version of this. Sounds neat. How long you been working on it? About 2.5 weeks. This is episode 13. Maybe not half. We're in our 3rd week. We've been focusing pretty much entirely on card interaction stuff, getting the card interactions. Because it's kind of weird. In this roguelike deck builder, your cards are the nouns, not the verbs. They're the things you play with. So you can deploy like a knight. They'll have a position on the board. I need to fix that bug. You can assign items to that, which might be situationally better or worse. You can also level up both of these things. So you can level up the knight by playing more knight cards. And then that thins your deck because now you've got like 1 level 2 knight card instead of 2 level 1 knight cards. So the struggle, most level ups are not going to take just 1 card, but then you've got this item. And so what we're working on is this item equipment page is what I call it, but it's this expandable little part of the character sheet that will come up if you click on your item and you're trying to use it on the battlefield, or if you're leveling it up by playing another matching item. So it's kind of a weird take on the genre. So I can't wait to have the battle map, turn-based stuff, and the character and the card interactions both working so that we can play with that interaction. So that's really where where this game is gonna either come together or fall apart, I think. It's a hell of a lot for 3 weeks. Takes you that long just to get a few sprites moving. Yeah, we have been very aggressive. We're using a card plugin called Simple Cards that handles things like dragging, dropping, rearranging. We are using an art asset pack for the sprites. The UI I made myself. I obviously didn't make the font, but the font is Nightwood. We're using the Pixelike, this roguelike pixel art pack that I got on itch. So we are cutting as many corners as we can and focusing just as much as on the content, the little content that we do need to make. But yeah, we are doing this really aggressively. I'm kind of treating it as like a 6-month game jam. That will hopefully result in a what do you want to call it? A Steam game. That's what it's called. So the base, take this. carve this out here. What kind of stuff are you working on, though? Sounds like you're an artist. Hey, Rhiannon. You don't like that your work schedule shifted to more busy in the afternoon? That's rough. Yeah, I tend to do all my like interfacing with other people in the morning, and then the afternoon. I like to have the afternoon just to do like projects and stuff too. Like today, I've got a really long project that is only nice because it's going to be a very solitary few hours of activity. Kind of looking forward to it. This is too big. Trim this in here. That doesn't look right. Yeah, 3 points, not 2. Nothing right now. One of them, their Steam games. Yeah, that's what we're aiming for. February Next Fest. That's what we're going to be in. So we're trying to get the demo out by the end of the year, which is 6 months-ish, you know, total demo development time. You need to expand your knowledge in Godot before you can really work on anything besides basic one-level platformers. Not sure where to start, though. With Godot specifically, Bracky's started doing Godot tutorials. Bracky's was a very well-known Unity tutorial person. Recommend those, for sure. I need to include the shadow, don't I? Put that on the border layer, I guess. Why is this 21? Hang on. This is 20. Oh, that's my bad. Let's help myself out here. We need to do disabled last. Put text on top here. Hey, Rob. What's down? Oh, down is the new up. We are working on an equipment page for our items. We're making a dynamic one that has like buttons so you can switch between their active and passive effects. Because we need to be able to level these up the same way we're leveling up the characters, so we need like a kind of tooltip-like page that pops up. And we've decided on the dimensions and the makeup of it and everything. It's a little crazy because they need to be kind of generic, because they need to be able to support some items that have passive effects only, some items that have active effects only, some that have both. So I had to come up with a weird little thing, and I did it last night, and now we're just putting it in the game so that we can start leveling up these item cards. How are you doing? Starting to take shape. Yeah, it's coming together. The card interaction stuff is coming together at least. We gotta wrap this up soon so that we can move on to, like, you know, the table, the turn-based battle map stuff too. And it's really going to be at the intersection of the two systems where I think we're going to see this thing shine, or we're going to encounter some like existential problems. Probably both. So yeah, really trying to just push for that, you know, without compromising my need for high quality UI elements. I wonder if there's something else I can do here for the disabled button. I think I just want to do this though. Oh, damn it. Did I do this wrong again? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I'm a dummy. Pay attention, Dave. Yeah, we're working on this all day, every day. Doing very little else except working and sleeping. We've got in-person playtesting in August, so I'm really trying to get a web build up in the next couple of months here before then. Yeah, I guess that playtesting event is in 2 months. So I'd like to get an initial build up in, like... This is wrong. Why is this wrong? Does it look like this? Like that? Eight. Is this 8? This is gonna be less than 8. What the oh, I know what I'm doing. Like that. There we go. Yeah, but that doesn't seem right. Made this hard for myself somehow. I don't quite know how. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make it easy. It's 20. Oh, it's further back than I thought it should be. Oh, is it not wide enough? I think I didn't make this wide enough. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it is wide enough. Because we want it to be like this. Okay. Okay. I got it. I got it. We got it. We figured it out. This part doesn't seem quite right still, but it is what it is. Maybe that's right now. Yeah, okay. Executive, 2 months sounds like a long time, but it's going to creep up on you. It's already creeping. It's already creeping. Yeah, it does not sound like a long time. It actually sounds like it might as well be tomorrow. Yeah, I'm aware of how quickly that all of that time is going to go by. I think it's going to take us about 3 weeks to get the card interactions done total. Like, I hope to have it done by the end of this week. The basic card interaction stuff that we need to test. This needs to go down, I think. Okay, I think we're getting there. I think that's moderately doable. So we got the 3. We're spending about 3 something weeks on the card interactions. I mean, we're gonna take about another 3 weeks to probably get the basic battle stuff going. That gives us like another month to get them working together and to get some kind of basic loop going. And then we'll have our first round of playtesting and we'll see. And we'll just take it from there. Lots of playtesting early and often. Okay, finally. That was way harder than it should have been. We're gonna make this 156. Oops, it's the wrong change. 156, just so I can do these together, I think. You believe in me? I really appreciate that, executive. All right, active. Put this somewhere in the middle here. $78. We're sure that's the right dimension, right? Yeah, we are. $20. Yeah, I think it's been a lot of help thinking about it as like a game jam, but it's also put a lot of pressure because part of my signature game jam style is to like just really know life it the whole time. And that is hard. That's easy to do when you're talking about a weekend. A lot harder to do when you're talking about, you know, 6 months. Whoa. All right, so we've added a disabled version of the button to the mix, which is new. So what order do I normally do this in? I have to actually go look. You usually do normal, focused, pressed. No, normal, hover, focused, pressed, disabled. Normal, hover, focused, pressed, disabled. Okay. Normal. Hover. That won't work. Ooh, this is wrong again somehow. How is this? Oh, I understand why. It's right. I'm getting confused. I'm looking at the wrong... Or maybe I'm not. Because this is the one we need. This is the one we're interested in. This, that. Is that right? That inner... No, okay, it is right. It's weird because I'm looking at the outer radius of a thing and not the inner. I'm used to looking at the other way around. You really like the font? You think it works well? Yeah, I think it's a little unreadable in some circumstances, but I think we've managed to make the UI big enough that it's fine. At least the theme is whatever you want it to be. The theme is a roguelike deck builder where you draft an RPG party. Because that's what we're making. Yeah, the font's good. That's wrong. Or more particularly, I don't like it. I don't know if it's technically wrong. What do we do for the character, the icons? Icons, frights. Okay, we're doing something kind of weird for them too. So maybe it's okay. Oh, you know what I might want to do? I might want to do it like this. That might make it better. That might make it look less weird if I can connect these. Okay, now it's consistent with the icons at least, if still a little weird. There we go. Whoa. When you think you're on the line tool, but you're on the other thing. Once again, thinking I'm on the line tool. There we go. That's what I wanted. That took way longer than it needed to get there. UI, what are we calling this? We're calling this the equip page button sprite atlas. And then what we just need to do is we take one of these, move it down here. And that's it for that one. Now we just copy it over. Boink. How did I fail expanding this canvas so bad? Oh, I said 146. 156. 156. Come on. Get it together. Graphics consistency is something you're grappling as well quite often. Yeah, I've figured out the language for the game. It's definitely taken a while. Like I agonized over this this equipment page thing a lot. And I've also done character sheets and cards. So we have like cards, equipment page, character sheets. Like, and it's kind of, that's why I like pushing things to this level of fidelity, is it forces me to commit to certain art style choices and try them out. And then those choices influence a lot of other choices. I really like figuring out some unmoving constant and then working around it. I like to figure out what the shape of the constraints are. And so like I also made some choices for the UI background art, which is very distinct and different. And so for me, it was like figuring out How much space on the screen do we need for the battle map? How big is the battle map? And that's been a conversation with the UI to figure out how much space is left over for the battle map. How much space does the UI have? What can I fit on there? What do I need to fit on there? You know? And so this is how the equipment page fits in. It actually fits in over the draw deck and the discard deck instead of fitting over the... We're going to still need some keyword tooltips. We're probably going to do those either on top of the page or have those pop up over the battle map, but I'll probably have it show up on top of the page or something. We'll have to figure out what we want to do for that. So like if you're upgrading your... God, I gotta fix that bug. I just noticed a bug at the top of the stream and I'm like doing my best to ignore it and actually work on the other thing. But yeah, figuring out that domino effect of like, this is a decision we're making and then this and then this and then that. For aesthetics, at least, I find it really helpful. I acknowledge I don't really need to copy over the page border stuff, but I think I'm going to. I might even use a different color for this, but I probably won't. All right, and now we just need new text. Passive. Passive. Boundary checks 5 by 5 by 16 by 14. Back 1, and that's it. Bonk. That looks like it'll be all right. Active button. We need to make the texture atlases, as always. Textures. Roster, text. I don't know if that really counts as part of the roster. Maybe it does because it's part of the... who cares? Equip? I could put it in equip. I could say textures, equip. I could say page. Maybe I do that. Page. This will be active. Let's see. Equip, page, button, active. No. Active, page, button, normal. Is this 78 by 20? Now we can just iterate through here. Hey, Cryptic Gaming TV, thanks for the hydrate. No Jewel, thanks for the stretch. This is why, Nix, that is exactly the reason why closed captioning is disabled. Beside it being, you know, AI-powered garbage. Hey, Magoo. How's it going? And good for the equipment page. Thanks, Cryptic. Yeah. We needed a generic solution that would fit items that some of them will have active effects, some of them will have passive effects, some of them will have both. So I needed, and it needs to fit in the corner of the screen. So yeah, I think we ended up with something okay, and now we're just making it dynamic, and so that we can swap it out based on what you've got going on there. You need longer names. Do not kid. I use stupidly long names for things inside of, for like resources and stuff. Mainly because the resource itself doesn't really tell you what it is, just because they're all T-reses. If anything, I think I'm being rather rather limited. I didn't add Atlas texture to each of these. Usually I'm way crazier. But yeah, here's the page that we're working on so that when you play a knight, you know, play a knight, and then you play a spear, and then you're like, either you play another spear to level up the spear the same way that you could level up the knight, or if you select the spear to use it, we need either you're leveling up the spear or you're adding XP to it. This will pop up so that we can get the level up stuff like you saw when the knight leveled up. Or if you've selected it, we need this kind of pop down page thing to show up. And this is all the space we got. And I think it's just barely gonna work. Just barely gonna work. How's it going? Thanks for the follow, by the way. So yeah, now we're making this mock-up like an actual dynamic thing that we can configure by resources. It's taking shape. You're not the first person to say so, so I appreciate that. Whoa, that's not normal. That's disabled. Disabled. I don't know why I picked a certain order for how I'm doing the sprites, and it's not the order in the button, and I feel like that was a mistake. But it's too late. It's fine. Where? Okay. This thing is pressed. Here it is. Alright, so we got all our item stuff. It's definitely going to be toggleable. Let's put this in the right spot now here. Oh, is there a way to do this without having them be level specific? And the answer is yes. Let's do that. Because I realize I don't actually want to have to swap these out just because we leveled up. So let's make some minor changes to this. I realize I don't want to do that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to hide this, hide this, hide this. Oh shit. The text here is okay, never mind. Never mind. We have to do it. Because the disabled text is reflective of the card back. And I actually don't want to change that. So I could make the text black. That's like an option. And I don't use black text anywhere else. But that's really hard to read, which I guess is fine. We're gonna try it real quick. Because I would like not to have to do that. Let's try it. See if we can get away with this. So if I disable this, it doesn't need to be readable per se. You know, I think that I think that's an okay disabled. I think readability wise it's really bad and we would be better served the way we had it before. Yeah, no, we're keeping this. This is better. Even if it just adds the annoying thing of we have to swap these out when we switch levels, I don't really care that much. That's not that hard. That's something we configure once and then never worry about it ever again. Yeah, because that's readable. Yeah, you don't like it. No, Jewel doesn't like it, so we're not going to do it. Cryptic, very cohesive. The menu fits the rest of the styling really well. How long have you been working on this project? About 2.5 weeks. About 2.5 weeks. Give or take. We're really pushing hard on this one. We paused our dream game that we've been working on for like years as part of a midlife crisis. And we're pushing really hard. This game, the demo of this game is going to be out by the end of the year. It's going to be in the February Next Fest. We'll see how it does in the Next Fest. If it does well, we'll put the game in early access and we'll keep working on it. If it doesn't do well, we'll get it to some minimum completion state that I find that I'm okay with, and we'll just release it normally and we'll move on to the next project. We're trying to take to heart all the advice that everyone has been screaming at me about for the last like 2 years. About how to make something quickly and actually just get a commercial thing out there. But yeah, we're taking a lot of shortcuts. We're using a lot of plugins and assets, and the UI I did myself, but like all the sprites and the card control stuff. Like I made the UI, so I appreciate your comments on the UI because I worked quite hard to figure out the UI look. But yeah, we're doing a lot to just kind of make it work, make it happen. Doesn't do well, we sell it to Netflix. There you go. Now we're talking. You could put in a sub viewport and swap colors via shader. I could do that. That feels harder than just swapping the textures out when we level up, which we have to do anyway for the card back. But for you, that might be easy because no, Jewel, you're like the king of shaders. I can't wait to pop one of your pixel art VFX shaders into this bad boy. It is gonna look so good. Those nice chunky VFX pixels. All right, so what are we doing? Okay, we got the active button. We just need to plug in the passive button, which is a terrible way to name this thing, but that's what it is. We need to make the textures for that. Passive, equip, page, button, normal. Yeah, normally I would add the word Atlas texture at the end of that, but I feel like contextually I understand what it means. Yeah, my file names are crazy long. Oh, 78. 78 by 20. Let's move this thing down. Whoa. Oh, yeah. Here.
That's kind of crap. I want to do that again.
This is the cover version. This is the pressed version. This is the focused version. This is the disabled version. All right, we're going to change this a little bit because I acknowledge that what we should do is we should actually spin this off, this one, into its own little file. Save. This is going to be the equip page button focused sprite. We'll just have that as a standalone. We will move. We'll get rid of this. Move these up. Shrink the canvas by 80 by 20. Re-export that. This is actually the equip page button level 1 sprite atlas. Now we're going to do Nyx's favorite thing, which is to recolor these. Level 2. Oop. Level 2. Wait, why did these change order? Here we go. You still need to add more effects. It's been quite a while since your last updates. If you use them and need some specific ones, let you know. Okay. Elemental, poison, bleed, etc. I could use all of those. We're going to be using the standard D&D kind of, well, maybe not D&D exactly, but we'll be using the standard stuff. I have some stuff, and almost anything would probably work. Like, I have spell effects, like the frame sprite for spell effects. But yeah, we're going to have frost, fire, nature, poison. I'm sure all elemental stuff would be the same, and as long as I could just swap out the colors, it's fine. Totally fine. Don't worry about it. We'll make whatever we've got work. It'll save me an age either way. I'm just excited to use it. If I have to do some of my own VFX, so be it. I'll just watch your talk on doing VFX. And then I'll know everything you know. And then what'll I need you for? Hey, Hypnotic, thanks for the hydrate. Appreciate you. How's it going? Yeah, good dance. Hi, Lord Gedunce. Sometimes I think the colors look wrong, and then I realize it's chromatic aberration from my glasses. And I'm like, oh, that's probably fine. Okay, so we've got our 6 levels for the page buttons. Setting up and getting coffee. Breaky. Nice, nice. Yeah, we're working on making these dynamic equipment cards for different stuff. The I don't know how I'm going to fill the actual descriptions. I might need to make room so that I can have a column or something. Like a 2-column setup. Where it says like attack, melee, or like spell, range, or something like that. And then have some room for things like damage and damage type and any other keywords. I'm not quite sure how to fill in this space, but it's okay because I don't need to figure it out yet. Because we don't have any interactions going. Correct, Arneo. Yeah. Hercule Poirot himself would be impressed at the mustache game going on over at Hypnotic Games. All right, what did I do to like absolutely butcher these? You know what I did? Or is this one the normal one? No, this is a disabled one. This is 60. Just reduce everything by 20. Maybe not. Focused. This is the focused one? Oh, this one's not in here anymore. We can delete this then. Dependencies. Yeah, that's fine. Cover. Normal. Rest. Okay, that's all good. All good. Delete this too. Reduce this down there. Save that. Everyone else good? Yeah. Okay. Oh, I need to rename these. Level 1. Active equip page button. Level 1. Disabled. Oh, they rearranged themselves without my permission because I renamed them. Button. Level 1. My next door neighbor moved out yesterday. There's like workmen next door. It feels like they're peeling the walls away. Like, it's so loud. I'm like, the person barely lived there. How much remodeling could that possibly need? Feels like they're peeling back the layers of the earth. Whole room is rumbling. All right, that's level 1. I guess I'll make level folders just to hate myself slightly less. Now I can make duplicates of these things, maybe. Can't rename it here, can I? No, I cannot. An apartment? Yeah, it's an apartment. I do not live in a condo. I live in an old apartment building. Sometimes I'm jealous of the things that the new people moving in get. Like window insulation. That's neat. But there's no reason for them to ever give me that. They're just like, well, you could move out and then we'll update the window insulation. And I'm like, no, thanks. That's the conundrum. It's the conundrum of being somewhere for a while. I don't mind. I genuinely don't mind. I mean, I do now that, like, energy prices are, like, through the roof, but it's summer, so who cares? It's summer, beautiful summer in San Francisco. It's gray, it's slightly overcast. By slightly, I mean completely. Oh, my neighbor, I was surprised at how many fixtures that they had to, like, detach. I don't know who does that. It's like an apartment. What are you doing, like, attaching fixtures to your walls and stuff? Like, I get, like, putting up a frame. But yeah, they believe me, their moving out was equally traumatic. Acoustically. I would have a hard time moving out. I've been in this building so long. I've accumulated so much random junk. I'd have a hard time. All right, we're almost done. We're almost done with this stupid process. It would have been nice if I didn't have to do this, but you know. Game jam style. I'd have to rearrange so many other things to not do it this way. And doing it this way requires a little more setup, but once it's set up, it is just in place. And then you're done. And then it's done. And then you don't care anymore. It's going to be interesting when I go to do a web build. I'm going to make sure I stay under the 1,000 files that you're allowed to have for the web build. There's probably going to be some weird tricks we're going to need to do to make... I think I did already 90% of the effort to make that happen, which was just collecting all of our sprites into atlases. I think I did all the work involved. Already. I think it should be fine. It would be nice if itch could, you know, support more than 1,000 files per web build. Doesn't have to be a lot more, but it would be nice if it was more. You can hit that number pretty quickly. Kind of totally on accident. But yeah, the sprite pack I started with was 1,300 files when I started. And I don't know what I got that down to, but I got it down to like 100 or something or less. Just by sticking them into atlases. I could have been more aggressive about... Obviously, I could have had one atlas for the whole pack, but that was like... That would have been a little excessive. I organized them by concept. Or whatever. I organized them some way. Could have organized them better. We'll end up recreating a lot of them as atlas textures, is the irony. Because that's just how Godot works. You want to pop a thing in here, you're going to make an atlas texture for it. So, That's the real irony, is I'm ending up recreating a lot of those things. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Make sure we stay in an okay. There's other ways we could do it if we really had to. Alice textures are just nice and easy. If we absolutely had to, we could do something else though. Where did I put these? Equip, page, level 1. Passive equip page disabled. Oh, we need to undo focused for both of these. Focused. Equip page, button, focused. Hover. Normal. And pressed. Let's toggle. Okay, so these are buttons. These are buttons now. These are buttons. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do the description. I'm not going to worry about it right now. You got what's technically a bug in your tile painting stuff, but you're tempted to leave it. Ooh, well then that's a feature, not a bug. All right, I need to fix this thing that's happening. So what's the thing that's occurring? I play the night card. The night card opens. Why? Did I decide I wanted it to do that? I guess I did. I guess I changed my mind about that. That's fine. But if we do that, we have to change the party roster stuff. Yeah, we can do this, but then what we need to do... Then the party rect needs to change. So party rect... Well, we just hide it. So is there something else? Oh, it's the party button. Party rect.visible is false. Party button. Party tabs. Party button.visible is true. Select character.visible is true. Character button visible is true. That should do it. Why is that not sufficient? Mat card entered. Character sheet open. Okay, no, this is fine. Oh, it's on drop. On drop, not on enter. Drop. We're not doing that here. So if we don't have this, if it's a new one, we do all of this. We don't, well, we do set this to roster count, but then let's say character sheet open. Okay. Bop, bop. There we go. This wasn't updating. So you need this way to get back to the party roster. And then if I do this, that just pops up there. This needs to be set to a toggleable. If it has an active effect, we have to change that. There better be some flavor text. I would not, do not hold your breath on flavor text, but maybe. For special items, well, maybe it would be for all of them, huh? But yeah, do not hold your breath on flavor text. You just accidentally posterize the whole thing. That's neat. That's kind of cool. Okay, so that works. So we need, and we've got this equipment page. I want to play this scene and just mess around with this. So how do these look? So that's good. I kind of don't like the way the texture button goes when you turn it off, but I guess that's fine. I guess that's right. So you can mouse over these things if they're visible, if they're not. Like, let's just make the passive one disabled for a second. So if it's disabled, oops, not what I wanted to do. So if it's disabled, you can't click on it at all. It's a little close in terms of, it's a little crowded. But I think that's because of the long P and spear here. But it's still okay. It's still okay. It still looks okay. So you can click this and you'll see whatever. I think when you click the item, it might default to this. I think it'll be like if there's an active ability, it'll default to the active ability. If there's only one ability, it should default to whatever it is. If there's two, then just don't prefer either. Have a thing here. There should be a thing here that's like, click on the active and passive buttons to see their effects. This item's effects or something. I'd do this as a placeholder until I get something in here. Click on the active and passive buttons for more. Something like that as a temporary thing. We're gonna need a pretty complex thing here with tooltips for different effects and stuff. This is gonna be a little annoying to build out. I might end up building, well, we're probably, yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but this is fine for now. We'll just do this for now. And then not disable that. Hey, Chaz! You finally got to check out the stream here. Appreciate that. How's it going? It's all right. We're working on this equipment card for you to see more information about the equipment that you've got set up on your heroes. We're trying to hook it in here so that you can play equipment cards. Oh yeah, no worries. Feel free to brainstorm. So now we have it. Now we have the equipment page thing. We got about an hour to implement it. That's not bad. I'm almost out of coffee, though. I am out of coffee. There's still coffee in the mug, but it's reached like, it's just above room temperature. The only coffee temperature I can't stand, you know, right? Room temperature. Cold coffee, fine. Hot coffee, great. Room temperature coffee, nuh-uh. How are you doing, Chaz? Oh, my lord. All right. So, we've decided the character sheet is where the equipment pages will be. We need to put this in the right spot for one thing. So let's put a copy of the scene here, just so we can position this correctly. I think this is where it's supposed to sit. Why are you negative? Why are you like lower than the thing? It's confusing. Put this in the right spot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Move this down. Actually, just top left. There we go. That should be right, I think. Let me see if that's what I've got here. So we got this, and then we got this. Yeah, that should be good. Should be good. Looking at the mock-ups here. Maybe I'll make a mock-ups thing here. Yeah, maybe I won't. Horrible. Absolutely not with lukewarm coffee. Just make more coffee. Oh, here's something that's interesting. The card system has this really strange z-indexing thing. And so we need this. Oh shit, this needs to be a button group. These need to be in a button group. We'll say equip, page, button group. Hey, Mr. Proper. Thanks for the follow. Hey, Skywalk, what's up? All right, we're back. We're back from ads. You didn't miss anything. Yo. Yeah, what up, Chaz? Was chat being kind of weird? How's it going? Thanks for hanging out. Okay, well, obviously we don't want that to happen every time. So now is it every... yeah, okay. So now you can at least only click one of them. But yeah, we have a Z indexing problem, which is very strange. And the way I'm going to fix it is by not really acknowledging it. All we're going to do is we're going to go to the character sheet and the equip pages thing. We're just going to set that to Z index 5 because that seems to work. There we go. And then the card still is over it. So yeah, the card, I don't know how this works. I'll have to dig into the plugin to actually understand how it manages its Z indexing, but this seems to be fine. But yeah, there's the page. We've got... I'm going to use a slash here just because that looks... I don't like how close this is to the edge. I feel like the text is... Use a slash. There we go. That's way better. You were looking at... For some reason, I thought you said sodium prices. I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I actually... A buddy of mine is helping me sell some RAM sticks from my PC build-out a couple years ago. I had some really nice DDR5 32 gigabit sticks, like two 32 gigabyte sticks, so a 64 gigabyte set. It's 6400 megahertz or whatever. Really good RAM. It was so good that I actually couldn't get it to run stably on my my AMD 7950 X3D, which is a pretty good CPU. I just couldn't get sticks that big enough to run stably at those speeds. So I ended up going down to 6,000 megahertz, 16 gigabyte sticks. So I only have 32 gigabytes of RAM instead of 64, which it's like boohoo. I may regret that one day if I start doing video editing, but yeah, anyway. So a buddy's helping me sell it, and I was looking at the prices, and I bought that RAM for like $200, maybe $300 a couple years ago. It's like... retail price is $900 now. So I'm like, we're gonna flip this, and I'm gonna make at least my money back, if not more. If not quite a bit more. RAM prices are crazy right now. I also found an NVMe drive that I didn't know I had, so that's nice. Bonus. All right, so you'll be able to switch between these so you can look at their effects. We'll update. We'll have to have some system that updates this text box thing. I'm also gonna have to fiddle with the text spacing. Actually, we'll have to do them as individual lines. It's gonna have to be like line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4. And do buttons with like tooltips, and if you hover over the tool, or if you hover over the keyword will like bring up the right tooltip. This is gonna be tough. This part's gonna be annoying. We'll get to that when we get to it. All right, so delete this page. Now we need this to be dynamic here. Now we need this to be dynamic. So who is keeping track of all this? Who's keeping track of all this? Well, I want it to be a child of the character sheet, because when the character sheet dies, all of the equipment pages die too. Trying to ask how long you've been streaming. Yeah, I didn't see that. So I started in February of 2024. So coming up on 2.5 years. On our way towards 2.5 years. Two and a third. 2 hours and 9 minutes. You're funny. You're funny, Skywalk. Okay. But who's on first is the real question. All right, so where is all of this data gonna be? These are gonna need to be resources. I guess the resource needs to be tied up. There needs to be a scene page, which there is. We'll put that in the character sheet, because why not? So we'll say at export. We'll say equip page. We'll say at export variable equip page. Packed? I don't know. We'll go find our equipment page scene. The equipment page needs to know stuff too. The equipment page needs to know about its pages by level. It also needs to know its at export variable active by level, as well as its passive by level. Where is this going to be released? Oh, Steam. Very much Steam. I mean, we're going to have a demo on Steam. During alpha, there will be playable builds on itch. I'm going to be trying to collect a lot of feedback on it early. But yeah, demo out by the end of the year to put it into the February Next Fest. So we are on a crunched timeline for this game. Very crunchy timeline. We got our first playtesting in 2 months, almost exactly. So a lot to do, a lot to do. Yeah, we're really crunching. You might see on my channel that I have like 300 something episodes of making an FTL like. So I have a dream game that I put on pause to make this game in like 6 months. We're trying it. We're trying this approach. As opposed to like, you know, the dream game approach. We're trying the like short dev cycle, really aggressive, really corner cutting. Corner cutting's the wrong word. Really scrappy development. I'm kind of modeling it after the workflows that I use on my game jams. Thought you were gonna put it on Godot. It's made in Godot. It's made in Godot. Godot is a game engine. In Godot. Not on Godot. We're gonna finish. We're gonna name this longer. Whatever. We'll say 1. We'll go find the stupid textures for this. So active by level, passive by level. Hover. I might have an export group here. Export group. Effect buttons. Oh, shit. We need a bunch of these, huh? I'm going to say active hover by level. We can just have one per focused. I'll say button focused. So there's hover, there's normal, there's pressed, and there should also be disabled. There we go. That'll do. Can I do this, or is this going to be annoyed at me? You suck at coding? That can be a problem. If it makes you feel better, I'm also bad at coding. Okay, so we can't have nested buttons. We can do categories though, so I could say export category. There we go. I'm trying to do better. Since I'm utilizing the editor a lot more for this project, which I don't normally do, but we're trying to move fast, so we're just kind of utilizing what the editor has for us. So the focused button is a sprite, and that is somewhere around here. Actually, do we need to know that? I don't think we need to know that, so we're never going to change it. No, we don't need to know that one. These ones we do. Disabled. So these are in alphabetical order. These are not in alphabetical order. Let's just keep that in mind. These are in what I call an aesthetic order. So these are just the hovers. So let's go through, grab just the hovers. Actually, I can search, huh? Hover. I can even say active hover, maybe. Oh, this should be good enough. 1. Heading out. All right, take it easy, Nanigans. Yeah, if you're streaming tonight, I might be able to stop by. Oh, you know what I never did is I never actually finished setting up these texture atlases. Let's do that then. All I need to do is swap in a new texture for these though. Quick load. What is this called? Here we go. Equip pages buttons, level 2. Save. At least they make this relatively easy to do. But yeah, I feel it. I feel it can be hard if you don't feel good about programming to make a game. There's definitely options nowadays, besides vibe coding. Equip page level 2 passive. Oh wait, you're on the same. Never mind. You are on the same texture. Isn't that nice? Sprite atlases be praised. The only coding you've done is in Strudel. I think Strudel's that coding music thing, right? Well, if music's your thing, you can always make a game with other people. Find a game jam. Find like a fairly low stakes game jam. Find some people who want to do it. Be like, I'll make music for the game jam. Just to see how it goes. I think you'd be surprised at what passes for like programming and game dev. Yeah, there's lots of game jams. Go to itch.io/jams. Pick a decent sized jam with like a reasonable community. Or if you're already part of some game dev communities, I'm sure they're doing some jams. Highly recommend a game jam to start, just to see what it's like and see what's needed to be done, and they're very fun. I have kind of forsworn jams for the rest of the year so that I could get this game out, but I will be glad to be back to jamming. Maybe later next year. For better or for worse, whether this game succeeds or fails. It'd be nice if it would succeed, though. I think we got something here. The thing is, I have to just get it to where it's gonna go. I think there's potential, but potential alone is not sufficient. Yep, 4. Not my favorite thing to do, these little editor setup things, but they're very fire and forget. You set it up once, it's there, as long as you don't mess up anything. It's pretty stable. Even if you accidentally delete files, Godot's really good about keeping references to stuff. Kind of impressive. Kind of annoying at times, but pretty impressive. Coding music? Yeah, hell yeah. That's great. I've always wanted to try Strudel. Because I'm not a big editor guy. I actually prefer to code out most of my stuff. We're doing this because this is the most, you know, this is the most seamless approach that you can do. If you're trying to move quickly, is to just hook things up in the editor and go through all that stuff. But yeah, I get it. I like that kind of stuff too. There's some cool no-code game dev stuff you could check out, though. I'm not familiar with most of them, but I think Game Maker might have some. Maybe. I know Unreal does, but people shouldn't start their game dev journey with Unreal, I don't think. Nothing against Unreal, but that's being like you should start making music by using Pro Tools. Or it's like, oh, you're interested in video editing? Well, you have to use DaVinci Resolve. It's like, okay. There's other options that I would encourage anyone to try. Isn't this fun? Isn't this fun configuring resources? Someone's got to do it. It ain't much, but it's honest work. This is most of what game dev is, configuring inputs. Game dev is really an integration problem more than anything else. It's about how you combine all of these things together. That's really what game dev is. This is a giant integration problem. And if you want to do platformers, you can totally do that without coding hardly anything. Those are very well understood games. Or more specifically, like you could find tutorials or plugins or code snippets. You can scrape stuff together. I would encourage anyone to try. It's like if you want to learn how to paint, you don't got to start with the Sistine Chapel. Although it feels like it, doesn't it, nowadays? Okay, there we go. All of those done. Now we can set up the exports. This is actually the thing I hate the most about this is how exports are so fiddly and so quick to just reset. They're very willing and very ready to just absolutely reset. Yeah, we're gonna search here. What do you like to do when not streaming? I work on this game. We're on a really aggressive timeline. I pretty much only work on this game. But that's, you know, that's only been for the last few weeks. I have a day job too. So I do that. When you have a day job and you're trying to do something like this, there's no such thing as work-life balance. The best you can do is work-work balance. The best you can do is to balance your day job with your, you know, hobby or passion or side hustle or however you want to call it. I call it another job that doesn't pay me anything. That's what I think of it as. Or if it does pay me, the pay is entirely speculative, right? It's like I could make money off of this, but I probably won't. And you know what? That's okay. That's okay. I would love to quit my job. But you know, the realisticness of that is very low. That is a very unlikely outcome. What did I plug in here? The normals? Okay, good. Not normals, the normal. I don't like that they use the term normal. LSG, architecture and data management with an aura. Product management sprinkled in. Oh, yeah, for game dev. Work. Yes, my lord. Okay. A horse kicked me once. It hurt. Do that all day. Where you want me to go? Who you want me to kill? Carrier has arrived. Warcraft 3 Vogel Sims were the best. Yeah, Warcraft 3 is peak for that for me. I remember like the StarCraft ones and some of the other ones, but Warcraft 3 is just burned into my brain. I've probably played more of that game than any other game. And I didn't even play ranked or anything. I was just sitting in custom games lobbies all day. That game is peak. We'll never go return to that ever again. Regardless of how badly Blizzard wants us to. And considering how terribly they do the remaster. I haven't even touched the remaster. Yeah, Warcraft 3 was life. Exactly. Look at demos on Steam. That's a good idea. Learn what's out there. Learn how people do things. You would be surprised at how many gem demos there are. Yeah, especially right now, you know, when there's a Next Fest going. Yeah, I don't spend much time playing games right now. When I do, I want to be away from the computer. I want to be on like my Steam Deck on the couch or something. All right, back to hover. All right, I always save the most fun things to do on stream, right? Just to like fill out an endless number of export dictionaries. I always find the good stuff for us to do, huh? But, you know, the work is the work, and the work that's up next is whatever the work that's up next is. And if I tailored the work particularly for streaming, I don't know what that would be like. I wasn't expecting to, you know, make a whole equipment page last night, and I wasn't expecting you to take the whole night either. But damn glad I did, because that was a big unknown. I think you could do worse than just working on whatever the next unknown is. The next creative unknown. Just direct your work that way. I think that's a reasonable way to go. You stream on other platforms? We are simultaneously live on Twitch. That's where most of us are. YouTube? YouTube kind of liked my FTL live streams. YouTube kind of was for a while. It's gone back, but YouTube kind of was like, oh, we'll show these to people. For some reason, YouTube despises this series. YouTube is like, oh, you're making a roguelike deck builder? Nobody wants to see that. It's kind of a bummer, but whatever. We're going to start doing some shorts and stuff. I'm not going to do devlogs because I literally don't have time. But I think once we start getting some gameplay stuff, we really need to get some shorts. And I think it'll work because I think I can cut my shorts from the live stream if I do it right. You know, put some different music over it and stuff. Maybe VO it. I'm hoping I can do it all directly in YouTube Studio because I do not have it in me to do anything else. To do more than that. But we'll see. You've been doing Deep Rock Galactic Survivor? Oh yeah, I played that a bit. That was cool. I should play it more. There's some more characters I have to unlock. I kind of enjoyed it. Not as good as Halls of Torment. But I've run out of things to do in Halls of Torment, so I have to play other games at this point. Stone Shard was on sale. I should go double check to see if it's on sale still. I really want to play Stone Shard. I'm disappointed that it's still in, you know, early access after like 1,000 years, but they thought the game was dead for a while. Only recently did the devs start putting out updates for it again. Which it's good that Steam tells you if an early access game has basically died, like if it's not getting any updates anymore. Not because the dev announced they weren't doing it, but because like the game just isn't getting updates. But it seems to be alive again. I really want to play Stone Shard, but I really don't like playing things in early access, especially things that are supposed to be like complete experiences. I guess I need to play Darkest Dungeon 2. We talked about that last stream. Because I want to see how they do their run-based stuff as opposed to their original setup. I want to see how the sequel handles it. I'm interested in that. But Darkest Dungeon 1 doesn't really play very well on the deck. Maybe the second one plays better. Okay, well, we did that. That took forever. We configured all of our effect buttons. So now we can do things. Hey, Dried Jungle, thank you for the hydrate. Thank you for the stretch. You're following on Twitch? Is that you? You've been chipping away at the single weapon mastery challenges? Nice. Okay. So we did this. We did the thing. Okay, so this exists. So I guess we model this after the character sheet. I really wish if you switch tabs, it would switch the script, but I heard script tabs are coming soon. You just came from YouTube? All right, yeah, thank you for hanging out, Dry Jungle. Appreciate you making the jump. Appreciate getting that double stats. But yeah, I don't know why YouTube hates my Roguelike Deckbuilder series here so much. Not that, you know, we were getting a tremendous number of impressions on the FTL-like series, but I guess I only make roguelikes, huh? That's news to me. All right, we got like 30 minutes or less. Can we finish hooking this up so that it's dynamic and we can plug it in based on this rusty spear? I need to figure out what we're going to do for the actual active effect descriptions. How we're going to manage this. How we're going to manage this, especially with tooltips. Oh, you know what? It's just going to be a text field. It's just going to be a label. It'll just have up to like 4 lines of text. And then it will know what the tooltips on the thing is. So when you mouse over the label, it will show all of the tooltips for all of the keywords mentioned in the label. That's way easier than what I was imagining. I was like, how am I going to do this where like it knows and you can mouse over an individual tooltip and each one's different and has a different number of keywords and they're in different places. I'm not doing any of that shit. But what I do need to do is be able to have 4 lines of text on this thing. Information. So we need to trim the spacing here. Line spacing is 3. We are going to reduce the line spacing. How much are we going to reduce it? Maybe just this? Just 1? This looks okay. It's a little crowded. It's hard to tell how many pixels there are here, but I think this is generally what I like to see. We could try 0. That maybe feels better. So that we can have up to 4 lines of text on here. So it's going to be really Mad Libs, like keyword style, just to make sure we can communicate everything. That should be okay, though. Twitch hates it anytime you open Blender. Which is weird because your Blender tag is the one most clicked through. Huh. Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't look at your statistics right now. My statistics are terrible anyway. It's not really the point. Streaming should just be in service of the game dev. I think it's really easy to get into a trap where you're like, you over optimize for the streaming part. And that doesn't really do anything for you in the long run. I think, unless you become so huge that, you know, you can pay all your living expenses just from like Twitch ads, which is not an experience most people are reach. But yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's like you don't sweat it. Stream just to get, you know, some like a hardcore following. But I think it's always got to be in service of the actual game dev. Yeah, streaming is fun, but yeah, I don't think you should ever compromise any. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not telling you to do anything in particular. I'm just talking about how I feel about it. Okay, so now we've got this. So we need to make it so that if you do this and there's nobody in the roster, nothing should happen. I do like the darker cards. I think they fit better with the background. I think the lighter cards looked really out of place. Selected care, add equip card. No. So if we need another check here. We need like a if card res is equip card resource and selected care. There's no selected character. You don't do any of this shit. Well, that was an obvious one. So if we do a mat drop, yeah, nothing should happen. I'm going to extend the playmat over the battlefield. I just haven't decided if it's the same playmat or a different playmat. I kind of want it to be a different playmat, one that hooks into the tile map layer. So that if I play a night card over the battle map, it like switches to like, I can place him on the field or something. It would still kick this part up, but I could go straight to that. And I would have the thing here. You're gonna go stream? Strudel? Oh! I didn't know you streamed. I'll give you that follow. Shout you out. Yeah. Go have a good stream. What's going on here? What's this? What's fucking with my buttons here? What is this? There's something in the way. Oh, you know what it is? It's the stupid tab thing. It's the equip page. Oh, you know what needs to happen? This needs to be like this. And then this needs to be move over by 1. All of this needs to move over by 1. So that we can fit the highlight. There's a highlight we need to fit. That means we need to change it here, though. Yeah, it's this stupid thing. Input, mouse. Just ignore. Just ignore the input. Okay. So now when I do this, yeah, it's not in the way anymore. And then we do this. So this part works. Like we can play this card. When we finish playing it, it should bring up the thing. It should also update things like our attack numbers. Oof. There's a lot there. There's a lot that's gonna there's a lot of quality of life stuff we're gonna need to do there, where like if you launch into an attack, the thing like knows and it knows like what you're trying to use, and it like shows you the attack value for your primary weapon. There's a lot of intuitive things that the UI is gonna need to do that I don't want to think about right now. All I want to do is so LF card res is an equip card resource. If selected character, close it. If card suit is not equal to this card suit, close it. We have character suit. We just reset this. We set this thing. We don't do that. We preview the equip card. Oh, we have it all here as a function, huh? Preview equip card. Character sheet open. So we can have it here as part of this. Oh yeah, that's the thing I was gonna do, was make this part better. But this is okay for now. So we know about our equip page packed scene. We know about all of our equipment. So when we preview an equip card, we'll set all of this stuff up. And what we need to do is we need to create if we already have a piece of equipment in that slot and it's not the same thing, we need to discard that equipment back into the deck. So we need to do something like if, what do we want? We want like card name. Yeah, what we can do is we can say if equipment dot has, what is the key for the equipment? Is it the slot? Yeah, if it already has something in that slot. I could have made my enums a little shorter. I might make some singletons that hold things like enums. Just so I don't have to say, so I don't have to invoke this whole thing every time. But whatever. I also might not, because this is a game jam. I mean, it's not a game jam, but that's the attitude. That's the attitude. All right. So if there's something in this slot, and if equipment dot, oh, obviously you don't say the slot, you say card slot. Card slot. What do we have here? Card icon, card level, card res. Card res dot equip slot. Card res dot equip slot. So if card name is not equal to card name, this card name, card icon, card level, let's say card name. Card name. Well, we can do it later. We don't need it right now. We can say card res dot card name. So if it's not the same card, then we'll say to do discard the currently equipped card and replace it with card res. New card. We're passing the card, right? No, we're passing the card res. That's wrong. We have to pass the card, right? Or maybe not. Oh fuck! It's just a preview. This is just a preview. So we don't actually need to do all this. I don't even think we need to know if something's in the slot. We just need to visually update everything. Okay, so if we just need to visually update everything. Well, I guess we still need to... Oh, I don't like this. I think what we do is we overwrite whatever's in whatever page. Here's what we do. We don't even care about the equipment. What we care about is the equip pages. That's it. This is a dictionary. It's going to be like... Oh, it's not but it's not an export dictionary. It's just a regular thing. There's equipment. And then what we also need is variable equip page by slot dictionary equipment card resource slot equip page. So when we create equip pages, we put them in there. So we can say if equip pages by slot dot has card res dot card dot equip slot. And we'll just overwrite this. This QA bastards always telling you when there's bugs, LSG, making you work late. Bringing value to the people. It's horrible. May you have no bug reports to them on this day. At least here, it's a holiday on Friday. It's a federal holiday. I will at least have the day off of work, which is going to be nice. I'm going to go to a board game place, play board games with some friends. It's going to be good. We'll still stream. There will be a stream. Don't worry. There will not be a stream Saturday. I've got my monthly Godot meetup on Saturday. I'm going to try to crunch through a lot of this work. All right, so if we already have a page, that's great. Here, let's just say variable equip page is an equip page. Here we'll say equip page equals equip pages. No, equip page by slot. How am I going to manage this? Oh, okay. We don't actually need to... I understand. Never mind. I got it. Card res dot here. Let's actually save this stores too. Variable equip slot is an equip card resource dot slot and equals card res dot equip slot. The need to preview things is so annoying. It is so endlessly annoying, but it is really critical to having a really responsive UI. But I swear, all of the annoying things about various editors and stuff I've made. Yeah, LSG, we have this Friday off and July 3rd off. So the Friday in a couple weeks. It's going to be nice. I really need some time off so I can just make video games. I feel like I'm slightly behind. I know progress has been good visually, but I'm feeling like I'm getting bogged down and I'm like, oh, I gotta keep going. I think I'll feel better when I have everything mechanically like happening, when I have a loop occurring. I think I'll be able to like take a breath, if nothing else. So either we pull the equip page from the dictionary or we make a new one. Equip page equals equip page packed instantiate equip page dot. Oh, the equip page needs to know a resource, right? How do I say that here? Do I just say card res? I say hero res. So let's say for the equip page, let's have a non-export variable, equip res, and equip card resource. So equip page dot equip res equals card res, and then we're gonna need like an equip page dot like setup function. Is this how I do it for the character sheet? I basically want to mimic how I set up the character sheet, which I've shoved all of the behavior for the UI into 3 on-signal functions of onMat card dropped, onMat card entered, and onMat card exited, and I have slight regrets around that. Slight regrets. I'm gonna need to reorganize this soon. So I can see it all, because we have similar behavior here. Okay, so if we don't have a character sheet, we make a new tab. We make a new sheet. We set the sheet in the dictionary. We add the sheet to the party, to the children. We set it as the selected. We run a setup function with the card. Oh, but on drop. Oh, so you know what we're not going to do on entered is we're not going to do all of this bullshit. The preview is not going to do this stuff. We're not going to do any of this. We're not going to do any of this on preview. That's a bridge too far. So let's just, so what we do need to do though is we do need to make some changes to the character UI potentially. Preview. This stuff is actually going to be moved to the add equip card function. So this is equip card stuff we're doing. Not doing this on preview. Doing this here. Equipment.set. Okay, so we set. No, we can't do set. We need to. We can't do this. This is wrong. Well, maybe we do it if it doesn't. We can say if not equipment dot has equip slot. We don't have that. So the equipment, do I want to store? I have regrets about how I do this. Do I want to store the actual resource or do I want to store the card? Or do I want to store the page? I kind of want to store the page. Yeah, well, we're going to do that. Equip page. Because that's how, it's like the character sheet. It's where we're going to store changes to the underlying data. You're gonna go to the East Coast Wednesday, surprise a friend. Then you have Wednesday off next week. Nice, nice. Sounds good. All right, I think I'm running out of time today, but that's okay. I can set up most of this tonight. Yeah, I am running out of time. Damn the vagaries of time. I feel like we didn't do anything. I know we did. I know we set up the dynamic equipment page that we can then configure. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to hook up all these too. Dang. Okay. So I think I'm gonna not equipment dot has equip slot. And what we need to do is we need to do a bunch of stuff. We need to instantiate things. Do instantiate new equip page. Card.move to update display. Okay. So the preview is going to work a little differently. We still need to work on the preview, but I get it. I get it now. I get how this is going to work. The fact that we have the precedent of the character sheet is very helpful. I just need to do a lot of nitpicky looking back and forth between them. The equip page I have not filled out with its pieces. No, I need to do that. I need to do a shit ton of onReady variables for all of this stuff. I mean, admittedly fewer than the character sheet, but still plenty. But I think this is going to be cool. And I think this addresses most of our problems with it. I was really worried this was going to be a huge boondoggle, and I still think there's going to be problems. But I think as long as I can explain what each item does for each version of its effect in like 4 lines, I think I'll be okay. We're having to be very laconic with everything. I think we'll be all right. Crash. What branch of code is this? Update display. Card res. Icon hover by level. Card res. Not card level. Ah. Well, that explains that. All right, we'll fix that. Okay. This has been Party Wipe, episode 13, the luckiest episode. I will be back. I will be back tomorrow for episode 14. We will do a stream tomorrow and another one Friday. We will not do a stream. I don't know why I counted to 3. We will not do a stream Saturday or Sunday. So this was good. I will be back. I will return. Hopefully with some more of this interaction worked out tonight. And yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. Thanks for the stream. Thank you, Jacob, LSG. It's always nice to see you. It's always a pleasure to see you in the city. That's the most obscure reference I could possibly make. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And I will see you all next time. Bye.